Hello.
Yes.
So, is there any issue like to start the?
I think we were just waiting to go live. Shubhranshu, I think we are live now.
Already 18 people have joined. That's why I'm.
Yeah.
Sure, over to you, Pooja.
No, actually, like there is some issues with the stream. Uh, yeah, still trying to figure out.
I can only see the screen. Like I've joined from a different device. I can only see the screen.
Subbu, I think it's live. Okay.
There is some syncing issue, I guess.
Please, somebody reply on YouTube live. There we are getting messages. Pooja.
Amit, can you respond to
I'm
Senthil's?
replying. Yeah, I'm replying. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'll reply that will
Thank
be
you.
starting shortly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we are not live. Like I think we are live on a different URL.
So should we inform like in the chat, like live chat, like the new link or will the earlier link work? So
No, the we have to share the new link that I have shared on the chat.
I think Subhranshu, we won't be able to start like unless like all like 20, 15 people join.
We can get started.
Hello and welcome to our first episode of Impact Next webinar. Sorry to keep you waiting, but now that we are live, let's begin. Impact Next is a webinar series dedicated to bringing you the insights of industry experts who have contributed, implemented, and adopted open source technology. In this digital age, open source technology has transformed the landscape of innovation and collaboration. By leveraging open source software, we break free from limitations, fostering an environment where building and improving upon existing technology knows no bounds. This approach allows us to create solutions that are more accessible and inclusive, benefiting individuals and industries or organizations alike. Open source technology has paved the way for some of the most remarkable and influential projects in the recent history. Together, we aim to push the boundaries of what is possible, embracing the ethos of Tekdi, make it matter. Join us as we delve into the world of open source technology, learning from experts who have first-hand experiences in harnessing its potential. Let's seize this opportunity to explore, innovate, and make a lasting impact together. Welcome to Impact Next. Let's today's introducing today's speaker. Our webinar speaker is a remarkable individual with a range of skills and experience, bringing valuable insights from one of the top tech companies. As a master coach, he excels in teaching and sharing knowledge. With expertise as a solution architect, he designs and implements effective solutions for complex challenges. He is driven by passion for technology and stays updated with latest trends. Lastly, his love for well-designed systems and optimizing processes makes him a valuable asset. Please welcome our distinguished speaker, Baljeet Singh Sucharia, who is also Assistant Vice President Projects of Tekdi Technologies. Over to you, Baljeet.
Hey, Pooja. Thanks for the intro.
Hi.
I hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes, very well.
Cool. So welcome everyone on this Impact Next webinar series that we have started, where we are going to share some insights and bring some good impacts, as Pooja mentioned. And this webinar kind of reminds me one of the video that I saw 2 days ago, when someone creatively modified a keynote speech, and the speech just sounded as AI, cut speech, because the focus was on AI. And if someone kind of creates summary of today, it might sound Sunbird, Sunbird, Sunbird. So on this smiling lighter note, let's begin our journey to know what is Sunbird ED, and let's get some hands-on onto this. Whenever I think of starting a journey, there are two things that reminds me that my parents always say. They say, do these two things on your new journey. One is always say, Jo bole so nihal, sat sri akal. And next, when you're starting your journey, fasten your seatbelts. So I hope you've done Jaikara with me and your seatbelts are fastened. So let's begin this journey knowing Sunbird. Shubhranshu, can you go to next? Yeah, skip this, please. As I said, we are going to talk about Sunbird and Sunbird ED. Now, let's understand what is Sunbird. I'm just though we have said this session is going to be hands-on, but I'd like to spend a few minutes setting the right context so that we know, what are that we are learning today, why it is important for us to start our Impact Next series with Sunbird ED. And so here, as I, have this opportunity to say about Sunbird, Sunbird is an open source digital public goods of India. It's built for, scale. It's built for the nation scale. This project is initiated by Ekstep Foundation. Ekstep Foundation is led by Nandan Nilekhani. It's a non-profit organization in India, which was designed to host wide variety of learning resources, making it global public good. So this is the brief about what is Sunbird as TPG, and who kind of started this initiative in the India. Next, please. So as we kind of say, Sunbird is the largest platform being used for learning and capacity building. This is a set of open source building blocks, which we call it Sunbird. Sunbird has 16 building blocks that is used for a variety of aspects. Today, we are going to speak about only one building block, that is Sunbird ED. I call it Sunbird 101, Sunbird ED 101. And Sunbird ED also uses a couple of building blocks, but without going into any of this technologies or theoretical, we will still keep it on the hands-on only. But just as I said, we'll just keep it for the context. So Sunbird is the largest platform being used for the learning and capacity building. It's the biggest digital public good from the India available for the global use. There are many of the use cases where the world, across the world, we have presented, how Sunbird could be used. So there are instances where now this Sunbird is being also talked about outside of India, which we are very proud of. 16 building blocks that Sunbird has, which has its own interoperability, generic capabilities, which can be used for a variety of use cases. Sunbird also has been used as one of the building blocks for the COVID that we use for the vaccination. Sunbird also is being used for the Diksha, that is the open education learning platform by government of the India. So these are a few of the popular use cases that we know of Sunbird. I would like to, as you can see on the screen, these are the various different building blocks that Sunbird has. Now, I'd just like to quickly show you what are the famous and popular Sunbird adoptions that we have currently. Can you go to the next so that we can see those Sunbird adoptions? Thank you. So these are one of, a few of the famous Sunbird, as we say, that, Sunbird is used. Diksha, as I already said, is used by millions of students and teachers on the nation scale in India for the daily learning platform. variety of the state educations are using there. Name it Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Karnataka. All of them have hosted that learning content so that teachers and students can use for their education purpose. Sunbird is also being used for National Urban Learning Platform, NULP. Sunbird is also used by a variety of NGOs to create the impact across the nation. We have named a few here that we are proud to work with. We have Dhwani Foundation, Transform Schools, Educate Girls, Key Education, Pratham, BJS. These are the few NGOs that we are showing here who have used Sunbird to create the nation level impact and to bring the positive sign that they are going to bring for the education. Next, please. I would like to touch upon quickly on the Diksha, the famous Sunbird use case that we know. I don't know how many of you actually know about Diksha, but I'll just take a moment to quickly tell you what is Diksha and talk about some of the statistics of Diksha, and then go on the few other use cases that we know of Sunbird. So Diksha is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. This is led by the government of India, the Education Ministry. And it is an initiative of National Council of Education Research and NCERT, Ministry of Education. Diksha is digital infrastructure available for all of the students and union territories, each of the 36 states and union territories. In India, their own virtual space on Diksha as tenants, with the autonomy to use and implement solution relevant to them. Diksha has 8 solutions vertical that addresses school education in India, including teachers, professional development, access to teaching and learning content for school leadership, amongst others. So Diksha is used across India by all of these states, union territories, right, for their teaching learning. Can you go to the next, so that I would like to show you the statistics on what is the impact that Sunbird ad as Diksha, it has created. So there are, as of the slide that we are seeing, it is the statistics updated as 14 December 2020, which is 3.6 billion digital learning solution, 180 million plus student access energized textbooks, and it supports 30 plus Indian languages. So as you can see, Sunbird is built for diversity. It is built for each and every town, state, city, whichever language that you kind of using. So all of this is supported by Sunbird. Can you go to next, so that we can see the latest statistics of Diksha? So as of today, when we talk about Diksha, these are the usage and course metrics that, as you can see, that across India at the nation scale, there are millions of users who are using Diksha, consuming courses, building their next level of learning, building their future by imbibing new skills, new knowledge to take their lives to the next journey. So this was at a brief on how Sunbird is used. This is one of the use cases of that I presented of Diksha. I would like to present the next use case that we speak is the Educate Girls. Can you go to the next, please? Educate Girls, this is an NGO that are in the space of helping students who could not clear their 10th grade. So Educate Girls works, the NGO works with them, gives them help, aid, provide them the assistance they need for the subjects that they couldn't clear, let it be one or let it be all, and help them to pass their 10th grade. By doing this, they create, they enable the girl child so that, they are able to stand on their feet. They have some of the degrees, at least the basic that we call it, the 10th, so that, they can take further professional degrees. Tekdi is helping create a scalable and robust learning platform for the adolescent girls that we call it AGs. And this is working for the open schooling system for the state level, as well as platform to manage their entire life cycle for onboarding of prereqs. So how Educate Girls is doing this is enabling, they have their volunteers who work in the rural, and these volunteers that we call it pre-reps, they work with the students, they guide them, they teach them, basically bring the schooling to their homes and to the nearest towns, and help them pass their 10s. And Tekdi is proud to work with Educate Girls to build the platform using Sunbird SaaS, where the students are using the Sunbird building blocks and clearing their 10th grade. Next, I would like to speak about Dhwani Foundation. Can you go to next, please? So Dhwani Foundation is again a very great NGO that also works with other NGOs, foundation, and governments and their stakeholders to solve their key problems on multiple fronts. The learning platform for Dhwani is used to accelerate their non-profit capacity building initiative through digital learning. Dhwani has partnered with and worked with a variety of NGOs across the nation, where they are using Sunbird platform to give them the learning so that the NGOs can work proficiently. NGOs learn how to work, how to manage their finances, and variety of items. So Dhwani Foundation is enabling other NGOs by using Sunbird SaaS. Right. So this was quick kind of preview on what is Sunbird, what are the famous Sunbird use cases. We went through Sunbird statistics and some of the famous adoptions that we know. Now, as we come to this, the most core part of it, which is the Sunbird ED hands-on. Today, I'm going to show you, if at all you are going to use Sunbird, how to create resources, how to create courses, assessments, how to use Sunbird mobile app, and at the end, if time permits, I would like to touch upon Sunbird groups and discussion forum. To walk through this demo, I'll be using Sunbird SaaS. But before I move further, I want to check if there are any questions that I can take. If not, we'll move towards Sunbird SaaS.
There are no questions right now, but maybe after the end of the session or during the session, if you have any questions, then surely we'll share them up. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I would like to share the screen. Shubhranshu, can you give me the host, right? Thank you. Let me know when you can see my screen. I think my screen is visible now. So we are here using Sunbird SaaS. So I think many of you would have used this screen. You would have seen this screen for the first time. Sunbird SaaS, why we started Sunbird SaaS, I just like to take a few seconds to explain, why we're using this. So as we've seen, Diksha or the other use cases, which are very popular and used on the nation scale. To use this platform, it requires, infrastructure to be available. Now with Sunbird SaaS, so that this platform is available to at any scale for everyone, we have created this Sunbird SaaS platform where anyone can kind of onboard themselves and use Sunbird capabilities on Sunbird SaaS. So for this, they don't have to host their entire infrastructure, but then, they can just come here, sign up on Sunbird SaaS, and they can use the Sunbird capability at any scale using Sunbird SaaS. So what I'm going to demo is today, use Sunbird SaaS to show you the core features of Sunbird on how to create courses, assessment, resources. So while we come to Sunbird SaaS or Sunbird rather, there are two main flows on this. One is that we call it the creation flow, and second is consumption. So when we say creation is where an admin comes and create the variety of different content that the users can use. The end users could be students, could be teachers, could be government officials, could be anyone who is willing to go through that content, right? So these are the two parts. So right now where I'm logging in is on the admin side, that we call it the creation side. I have my demo account set up where I'll be logging in. and walking you through the variety of things that we could do as an admin to create the courses. So when you log into Sunbird SaaS, this is the first screen that you see. As a creator, as an content creator role, what you'll have to do is go to your workspace, which is where you have the ability to create the resources or items that you want. Fundamentally on Sunbird, what you could do is primarily two things that mainly people deal with. One is the courses and second is the assessment. As we understand, courses would contain variety of units. And since this is digital platform, this courses would have digital content. Now, each of this digital content are first created onto the resources. Sunbird primarily uses this theory or philosophy of reusability. And that's the reason everything that we create is firstly created as reusable resources. So this is what I'm going to create, a reusable resource, demo resource. And this reusable resource that I'm creating later can be plugged into any of the courses that I create. So I'll just have to create a video or a PDF or my assessment or my question or any of the other interactive material that I want to use just for the one time. And then I have an option to create it and use it multiple times. So if you see this interface a little carefully, this looks like slightly the slide interface or presentation interface, but it is much more powerful and customized for the education use case. And people have also used outside of the education use case. What you could do on this editor, we call it the resource editor. You can add images, you can add audios, you can create the mathematical equations. You can also add the questions on top of it. So as you can see, whether you want to add a PDF, audio, video, all of this is primarily done on this resource editor. And then this resource editor then further can be kind of used for any of the courses that as you want. It is on the web and very easy to use. There are a variety of actions that you could attach, that on click, do this, play this audio, go to the next slide. So this resources that we have, the resource editor, is quite powerful and customizable to suit your creativity and create the content for your audience. Once you have any of these resources created, it could be audio, video, or as I said, I'll just quickly show you how the complex mathematical equations also can be added. So it is just not add a simple image, but if at all you wanted to add an equation, that also can be added and customized to suit the learning audience. Quickly to show you what else this resource editor could do, I'd quickly jump onto my question bank, and I would just filter saying, show me all of my questions. Select one or two questions and then add this question set directly here. So now I have also added this question set. So as you can see, this resource editor is quite powerful to add the different multimedia that we could use. Once the resource is created, is saved, then we can actually use it for a variety of items. I'll just quickly jump on to how this resources actually can then be used. I'm going to create a fresh new course here, and to show you that how we can create a new course. This is a demo course. You can add keywords so that later you can search based on the keyword. Yeah, I'll quickly I'll quickly show you another thing that is very important while we use Sunbird. So Sunbird has this very flexible framework that we call it. So each of the content can be segregated into 4 categories. here what I'm demoing is customized based on board, medium, grade, and subject. So this content for this particular demo setup that I have for the education here, I am segregating this content that this belongs to board demo. The medium is English. This is for the grade 3 and subject could be maths. Each of this 4 level of categories, the hierarchy can be customized to your particular audience or your particular use. We did one of the case study for farmers where, here instead of board, what we have is the several different states. Because for farmers, when we are giving tips, the tips would differ for each region. If they are growing a mango in the same town, but at different places, based on the soil, the tips on how to grow mango would differ. So there was, state, region, and then small area within that village that was listed here, so that the farmers belonging to that particular area could filter, and the last was crop. So what I'm trying to show you is a 4 level of hierarchy of framework that can be customized based on the audience or the content framework that you have. Here, I'm segregating on the education use case. So I have board, medium, grade, subject here. Author, copyright here. I think so now, for any of the textbooks you can recall of the school, it would have unit and then subunit and then further subunit. Likewise, you have freedom to add more child units. So this becomes my first main unit. I still remember that, I need to show you the resources, how it can be used. Now, if you observe the editor that you have in front of you, what we have created a course, we have created a unit 1 that we call it. And then I'm still going and create a unit 1.1, but there is no place where I am able to create audio, video, or something. But what we have is this include content from the resource library. So this is what I was talking that, there is a reusability that we could do on Sunbird, that you can create a resource once, and then you can use it in any of the courses that you ever wanted. So this is a demo textbook that I'm selecting, adding to unit 1. Since this is demo, some of the content might have dummy data, which is causing issue here. Okay. Right. So what we have done is we created a resource, and then we created a course, and then inside that, we are adding this content. As you can see, this is a small PDF content that we have. Likewise, for any of the courses that you're creating, you have ability and options to add PDF, audio, video, the HTML5, H5P content. You can also attach your videos directly from the YouTube, right? You also have an option to take an assessment at the end of your courses and issue the certificates to users, right? So I'll show you all those quickly. So right now, what we have touched upon quickly is resources, adding them to courses. The most interesting part that I see now on the web portal is next, that once I have my course created, what I would like to do is do an assessment so that I can judge, what the student has learned. And that's where I would like to quickly present you the assessment or module here, and what are the type of questions that we could create. So as I previously, briefly touched upon, When I go to resource editor, I have the option to invoke all of these question set that I have, filter based on what are my current questions. And you will see, as any of the online kind of platform, you have an option. You have an option to create MCQs, but on Sunbird SaaS, there is much more things that you could do. So here you have an option of creating a question which is match the following, multiple choice, fill in the blank, reordering the words, and arrange in sequence. So these are the variety of question types that you can use while you're creating the questions. I would like to just select one, reordering the words, and quickly show you how it would work. So as you can see, the moment when we are typing, it is recognizing each word as a separate element. And then as a user, I need to rearrange. And when this is presented to the user, the words are automatically jumbled up. So now I need to, this is my demo sentence, right? So this is one of the creative ways on, how you could ask questions to your audience. Similarly, the other type of questions that we have, multiple choice questions that all of us are familiar. You fill in the blanks, arrange in the sequence where one of the questions have 4 different types. You can choose and arrange them in the right order, or match the following, right? So these are the few quick previews on what do you have available in terms of the questions. So what we have touched upon very quickly, keeping the time in hand, is creating a resource, adding them to the courses. What I didn't explain you is that as soon as you create a course, each of these courses are not directly published for users to consume. These courses are, once created, are sent for reviewer, and there are admin review roles who can review this content and put the final button of publish. Only then this entire courses are available for your users to consume. So this way, there is a final check available by default as a workflow for any content to be published. Is create, send for review for your courses. The reviewer is then would review the final thing and then would put the publish button. Now, what we have done is we have not done the entire cycle here, just to save time and cover the main topics quickly. I would quickly jump upon to the most interesting part of it. So far, what we have done is created the content on the web portal. I would jump onto my mobile screen, show you the Sunbird SaaS app, how these courses are being rendered on the mobile, and what are the other capabilities that we can expect on the mobile. So I'll stop sharing here. I'm already joined on my phone. I'll start sharing from that. Yeah, as you can see on my mobile app, I'm logged into the Sunbird SaaS app, right? And on this Sunbird SaaS app, I would quickly pull up one of my demo content that I had created previously. Created, reviewed, and published. Once created, published by the reviewer, then only those contents are available on the mobile app, right? So this is a demo course. And as I mentioned, few of the other things that for there are a variety of contents that we can create on Sunbird SaaS, and we have combined all of this together. Is that we have MP4 video, we have a YouTube video, we have a PDF, we have an EPUB file, and then we have an assessment also. So all of this is kind of coming here. And then as a user, if at all I wanted to see a PDF, it is, I can just click on the content and start consuming that directly on my phone. So as you can see, the content is loaded on my phone, and I can easily browse through the content that I have. Right? Ability to zoom, the basic functionalities. Right? So I'm leaving the content, going to the next one. And what I would like to show is that within the app, all of the content, consumption that we are using is kind of common, but I would just quickly touch upon the assessment, that how kind of assessment would work here. We are also a fan of Sachin. So here I have an option of, I filled in the option, and then I'm going next. Right? I talked about the arranging sequence. So, and match the following. As you can see, for any audience that you can imagine, this is a very creative and engaging way for users to give answers and to attempt. If you could see on the screen, there is a music icon. So onto the questions, with the questions, you can also attach an audio. So here with the question, there is an audio attached. So when the user clicks, it would play the audio and the explanation can be given. So there are instances where the text information is not enough for the student. So this option can be very handy in that case. So here, there were total 4 questions. I've answered 4. It is asking me to submit. All of them are right because I did multiple tries, and so it's going to be correct. So the score is 8. So likewise, you could have a course created and the assessment attached to your unit so that you can see what is the learnability. Now, there is another interesting thing that, as you can see, in this course, there is only one item. In this unit, I have only completed only one unit, or one item of the unit. So it is showing me the progress. It is allowing student to go directly to the assessment. As you can see, any of the textbook that you have in Hindi, none of the textbook restricts you to going from chapter 1 to chapter 2 or directly attempt the end of the exam or the end assessment that you have. Similarly, here there is a freedom for the user to kind of directly go to either assessment or go to any of the video. There is no direct restrictions here. Now, one of the most interesting part on the mobile. Here in the mobile, as you can see my screen, there is a download button available. When you click on this download, the entire content of this course as an archive, as a small archive, will be downloaded onto your phone. Once downloaded, definitely it helps you to consume it offline when you are not connected to the internet. But secondly, it also helps you and allows you to share this content, which means I can take this, my archive, send it to someone via Bluetooth, or take this archive on a pen drive, and then pass it on this archive to as many phones as I want. If all of them have Sunbird application, Sunbird SaaS application, they would be able to import that particular content without the need of internet. So by doing so, it enables us to spread this content offline, even to the areas where internet is not available. I would like to present one more thing here, that these are the languages that Sunbird kind of supports, Indian languages. So if I click on Hindi, the entire interface would just quickly change it to Hindi. If you can see, there were a few things that were not changed. This is because this is not system content, this is the user content. So all of the system content would actually change it to the desired language that user has chosen. Yeah, I can read Gujarati. Let's go to that. So the entire settings, mother, logout, all of these are now changed to the desired language. So on mobile front, based on the user content available, user can choose the content, consume, read PDF, go through the audio videos, or give the assessments. Or as I said, download the content, share it with others. So this was just a quick run through on the mobile app. I'll quickly switch back to now the web portal. And as I said, I would like to quickly take upon another most interesting part is, the groups, that how you can kind of use groups and enable more interactivity amongst the users of your batch, your org, stuff like that. As you can see, we have created some sample groups. So on Sunbird web portal, anyone can actually go ahead and create a group. In any of this group, whoever has created the group can actually add the activity on top of it. So since I created this user created the group, I'm adding the activities that I want this group to do. So, I'm adding the courses that are relevant. So what is the actual use case of group? So for example, in a class, you have three different set of users. One who are very weak in English, or very weak in maths, and one who are moderate with maths or English, and then higher class. And then you have created different set of contents that help these different students. So maybe for the students who needs help on the basic content or the fundamental, you could create a group that you can call it the fundamentals of maths and English. So these learners then go to that particular group, use those activities, and enhance their skills. As a creator of this group, you have an option of using a discussion forum also. So you can start a discussion with so you can start the discussion amongst this group, and any person who is part of this group can actually go ahead and respond. So this way, to the smaller cohort that you've created, it enables you to keep an interactivity, use the learning content, and then share it for the right audience. Similarly, at the parallel, you could have another cohort searching using the advanced course. So this way, same teacher can create virtual cohorts, give them the activities within that group, and all of these can be also consumed on the phone, and then they can enhance their learning. So this is kind of quick preview to how we could create courses, resources on the portal, assessments we went through. We touched upon how we can use all of these content on the mobile, and the assessment. Also use the YouTube videos, how you can download it on the mobile. Plus, lastly, the groups discussion forum and what are the actual use case. So this kind of quickly wraps up the agenda that I had for you to share on the Sunbird ad. I would like to see if there are any questions or else we could wind this up. Thank you so much for the listening.
So we don't have any questions right now.
Great. Always for any speaker, this is the best time. Either you have explained very well or everything is gone above the boundary. So I choose to believe that I think it was easy enough for everyone to understand. So thank you so much for tuning with us and on this Impacts Next webinar and getting the glimpse on what to do with Sunbird SaaS. Thank you. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, Baljeet, for kickstarting this series on such an insightful and engaging note. Uh, we have been talking about Sunbird SaaS, but it was a very new and engaging, refreshing, insightful session for me as well. Thank you for also, explaining the multilingual capabilities as well of Sunbird as the content creating capabilities, the different content buckets that can be explored in Sunbird SaaS as well as Sunbird ED. If we don't have any questions, you can still access us. You can leave us a DM, tweet us, email us with your questions once this webinar is live, once you can see it, and we would be really happy to answer all your questions. If you don't have any questions now, we can still attend to your questions later as well. That's not a problem.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone behind the scene for organizing this and arranging this. It was nice speaking with you, all of you. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone who attended and joined
We
us
have
and
one
being a
question
part
from
of Impact Next series. Okay, sorry. We do have one question. Is the group functionality useful in creating batch of students?
Can you
Can you repeat the question? Shall I repeat the question?
Yeah, please.
Is the group functionality useful in creating batch of students?
Yes. In groups, you can add different users, and each of the users in that particular group can access those activity. Now with the batches, I don't know, what else would you like to do, by referring the word batch? But to me, these are, virtual or logical separations amongst these users. So if I explain a little more clearly, assume that you have 100 users on your tenant, and out of which 10 you are interested to follow this particular activity that maybe they are very excellent to do. Maybe they are going for a hackathon. Maybe they have some particular topic to learn. Maybe they are participating in some of the events. And then you create a smaller group, start engaging with them, the particular activity that you might have designed for them, or activity that they may need to pay more focus. So they're using those activities and you are engaging with them on the discussion forum. So this virtual cohort, virtual group that you're creating, you can call it a batch also, can be used to focus on those activities. So yes, in a way it's a batch, but I don't know if you have any other edge of using the word batch, then let me know. But yeah, for me, that's a small batch that is focused on learning those activity and engaging with the instructor for that particular use case.
There is I think an extension.
For me, that's a small batch that is focused. Okay, so yeah, I could see the follow-up question also. Am I still audible? Yeah, I could see.
Yes, you're audible.
I could see the follow-up questions there, which is batch of Java courses of students May 2000 June batch. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, thanks for the example there for the batches. So in Sunbird, for every course that you create, you can also create batches. So you can have a batch of June 2023 and then batch of July 2023 kind of stuff. And then users can enroll to the particular batch. And once they are enrolled, and the enrollment also has a certain date that, till this particular date, you can enroll. and consume the course. Once the enrollment date is over, you cannot enroll, but once you're enrolled, you can always consume the course. So the batch concept is there with the courses, and then only when the users are enrolled to a particular batch, then only we can get to know the statistics of which user has consumed how much course, what are their assessment score. So when we are attaching any of the courses to groups, this is just a virtual linking. It is not actually creating the batches. It is very kind of soft linkages or soft batch around it. The actual batch concept is there for every courses, and you have an option to create batches based on date. So for your example that you've shared, Java or batch July and August, yes, those could be created directly to the particular courses. And irrespective of the batches that you created on course, the groups that you create can be of any size or any courses or anything. So that way, now since I understand the question, the groups are soft linkages for temporary use or long-term use. Batches could remain separate directly to the courses. I hope it is clarified. If not, please do. And I'm glad that you shared the examples to make it more clear.
Any more questions?
There are
Thank
no
you, Mandar.
questions.
All right. Thanks for answering that, Baljeet. Thank you for being the rockstar you are and imparting your knowledge not only to the organization but also to our lovely audience.
Yeah, I'm glad to do my part, and thanks for this opportunity. Thanks to Tekdi Technologies for organizing this and giving me this opportunity to learn and share about Sunbird. Thank you.
So since there are no questions coming in, let's take this forward and conclude. Just in case if we have any questions, we'll get back to you and we will, answer those questions on personal level as well. Also, thanks to our lovely audience for keeping up with the glitch, with the technical glitch which we had earlier, and coming all over to this side and keeping us engaged and being engaged with us till the end of the series and being a part of our Impact Next series. Your presence and enthusiasm made this event truly special for us, and we hope it made special for you as well. So don't forget to stay connected with Tekri on social media for the latest updates and exciting news. And if you know of any organizations or individuals who are contributing to the open source technology, we would love to connect with them. Do let us know in the comments, DM us, as I said, DM us, tweet us, email us. We are available everywhere. And we would just love to hear your questions in general or your feedback in general. That helps us improve as well. And we just can't wait to bring more of this awesome events for you in the future. Stay tuned